I have an extremely great desire, and it's just so beautiful, and I know exactly what I want. And somehow, right when I was getting it, my boat turned upstream.
Oh, so you were getting it, and it felt good, and then it went away?
Yes.
Well, what you are describing is the one exception in all of the universe, so we want to hear more.
Are we ever satisfied with what we have?
Well, there is always something that is more, but the way you are telling this story is not vibrationally possible. Tell us the story again, and let us see if we can figure out which part of it is...
In more details?
We're just saying to you, you said, I know exactly what I want.
Yes.
And then it came to me. So what those two statements mean is, I know exactly what I want. It was over there in my vibrational escrow.
Okay.
Because I knew what it was that I wanted and I gave my undivided attention to it, I was therefore a vibrational match to it, and then it came to me. Now, that part is all vibrationally accurate, but the next part doesn't make sense. When you want something and it comes and then you give your attention to the thing that you wanted that has come, it's illogical that it would go away. So more details would be helpful.
So it almost came, but it didn't quite manifest it 100%.
So it was in my vibrational escrow, and I caught a glimpse of it, and it made me feel good for a while.
Yes.
And I could feel the momentum of it. But then I took score in realizing that it wasn't really there.
Yes.
And when I focused upon the absence of what I wanted so much, I turned upstream.
Yes.
Now that's logical.
It took me 12 months to turn my boat around.
Do you understand that your life has caused you to create it, and that it is there? It is a reality that is already being experienced, and that it is a sure thing for you once you achieve vibrational alignment with it, that no one can say to you, you can't have it. No one can say you're not worthy. In other words, what's in your vibrational escrow is yours. There's only one requirement, and that is you head toward it and feel good while you're doing it. Mm-hmm. So what kind of statements were you making that turned you upstream?
I guess I'm like in the emotional ladder, I get very confused in that aspect because it's
no reason
not
for
very clear.
No reason for confusion at all. We are not going to let any of you offer your feeble excuses anymore.
Yeah.
Because you can tell when a thought feels better or worse. You can every single time. And it's time for you to start acknowledging that you can tell the difference between something that feels better and something that feels worse. Because until then, you're going to tell this ridiculous story that you created it, that you were right there, and then it went away. So we want you to begin telling the story the way it was. There was something that my life caused me to create. I sort of kind of thought about it part of the time, but not very much. I thought more about the absence of it than I did having it. So the absence of it was much more active in my vibration than the having of it. And then, for some reason, I lost my point of focus about what I didn't want, and for a very short period of time, I allowed my boat to drift into the proximity of what I wanted. And as soon as I got a glimpse of it, I immediately picked up the stick and started beating the drum of the absence of it again, and it was 10 times worse than before, because once I tasted it a little bit, I really, really wanted it. And then not having something that I really, really wanted was so miserable that then for 12 months, I beat the drum of how awful it was. That is a vibrationally accurate story. And we say, we can tell you easily, when you think of what you want and why you want it, you always turn toward it. When you think of what you want and how hard it is to find it, or what, not knowing when it will come, or how will it would be arranged, or that someone else has a say in it and they might not be in agreement, when you have those kinds of thoughts, you contradict your own energy, you see. So begin offering some statements that you believe will move you this way rather than that way, and will help you tweak it.
I'm ready to go where I believe I need to be, and through the experiences, it's made me grow, and I needed those to be complete to get to where of my desire.
You use the word need instead of want, and need is always upstream. Because what you need is always when you are in need, you're always focused upon the lack of what you want. So every time you need it, you're always upstream. When you say want, it doesn't necessarily point you downstream, but there's a much better chance of being downstream when you say want or desire or looking forward to, or won't it be nice when, or wouldn't it be nice if. In other words, feel the difference. Those are much more relieving. You can feel that.
Yeah.
When you say, something that I need upstream in order to have my growth. Anytime you're talking about your growth or your expansion in that way, you're pointing out the difference between where you are and where you want to be. And so that's what we want to help you to soften. You are, and don't feel bad about it, almost everybody does this to some extent, you are accustomed to having to justify the needing of something before those, whoever they are that hold the goods, will give them over to you. In other words, you sort of learn that from your mother. When you say, "Mother, I would really like to have such and such," she will say, "But you don't need that." And so over time, you begin to associate, well, if I just want it, mother's not going to give it to me. I have to plead a very needy case. So you deliberately wear your shoes out, you tear holes in your clothes, you lose things, you put yourself into a place of need as much as you can. But the universe is not your mother. The universe is not responding to you don't get to where you want to be by beating the drum of the absence of it with the universe that is responsive to you, you see.
Yeah.
So just a little platform there. And we don't expect you to turn around instantly, but taking all that in, now make another downstream statement as best you can.
I'm so blessed where I am today. Every day I'm getting stronger.
All right, now there's that stronger stuff again. You've still got hold of those oars. Do you know you don't have to be strong to float down the river?
True.
When what you want is already there and you are worthy and allowing it, that's an easy, effortless. So what's stuck in your vibrational craw is, and you're not alone in this again, is this feeling that you must work hard and be strong and justify in order to prove some sort of worthiness in order to get what you want. And that's getting in your way. It's got you pointed in opposition. And we are appreciating so much your openness here, and know that we are not ridiculing or making fun. We are guiding you to this subtle understanding. Isn't it interesting? So many people want things that aren't coming and cannot for the life of them figure out why they're not coming. And we say it's subtle differences. The difference between worrying about something and hoping for something is the difference between getting it or not. The difference between being mildly anticipating and mildly pessimistic is the difference between getting movement or not. In other words, the differences are subtle in the way they feel to you, but they are huge. It's like a tipping point. It's like a fulcrum. And the emotion might feel almost the same and be tipping this way, which means you're holding yourself consistently apart from what you want. You tip it just a little more and you start to see evidence. And once you begin to feel hopeful about something, now you're really off and running. So try again. You're doing fine, and everyone's appreciating it. They're all glad they're not here. But they're appreciating your open, not trying to snow Abraham.
I'm very excited of the future that's ahead of me.
That's just a lie.
I am. No?
Why?
Because I see good things coming
Like
toward
what?
me. I see a child coming.
Yeah?
I see moving to Hawaii, a manifestation that I am creating. I'm very content in my career.
Keep talking.
I might not be, I'm not saying I am, right now, but I'm excited about it because, right now I've got things that I'm still working on.
And that's the thing we want you to hear. You see, your point of power is here and now. Mm-hmm. So all of your, what you want in the future or what you've had in the past are irrelevant, really. It's what you're doing with your gate, so to speak, right now, open or closed. What we're showing you is that a conversation that usually most people offer conversation in order to explain where they are or to convince someone else of a point. And we want you to use your conversation as a tool to point downstream only. We want you to feel the words that you're speaking and see if they are effective words, because there are a lot of people, we heard you offer several words just now that a lot of people would say, oh, those are good words. Words such as, I'm on my mission and I've got my plan in action and I'm diligent about what I do and I believe in the virtue of right action. These aren't the words that you offered, but it's sort of, we're wanting to make a point that people use words that conjure emotions, and because the words have been approved by the others who have offered them to you, then you assume that using these pre-approved words will move you in the direction of what you want. And we want you to feel with this badgering that we're giving you here. It's a wonderful experience for you and for everyone. We want you to begin to use your words to move your energy, period. That's all. In other words, never use a word to impress someone you're not. Never use a word even so much for communication in a setting like this. Use your words to feel the movement. So, for example, as you say, I am determined that my life is going to be better upstream. I am looking forward to feeling more certain that I'm on the right track. Much softer. I'm looking forward to. I know I'm going to get what I want. Well, if you don't, that's an upstream statement. I'm looking forward to knowing that I'm going to get what I want. Softer. That's a downstream statement. I've worked a long time and it's time for me to get my dues is an upstream statement. I haven't really known what I was doing before, so none of that counts. And now that I do know, I'm expecting faster results. So what is it about where you're going that is pleasing to you? You see, it's a fine line. When you say, I'm very excited about moving to Hawaii and having a child, even though those words sound positive, it was upstream for you because you haven't figured out how or when that's going to take place. It's something that you want. So you actually torture yourself with those kinds of statements more than you help yourself. Are you following this? So you could say something like, I like the idea of living in Hawaii, and I've loved it every time I've been there. And I love looking at the pictures of it. And I can sometimes look at a picture and even feel how it feels to be there. And I like the beauty of the environment. I really love that place. Now, that was all downstream, you see. And so a thought like that is a very helpful thought. I'm going to have a child. I so love children, and I've always sensed that I would be a really good mother. And I know that when the time is right, that will unfold for me. And I wouldn't want it to unfold until the time is right. And I'm perfectly comfortable with the time getting right. And I know it doesn't take a long time to get the time right. It's just a matter of lining up with it. And I can sense by how strong the feelings are in me around that it's really something that I want. And I'm looking forward to that idea soothing me and pleasing me, and it will in time. And I like the idea of feeling happy about that. And the fact that I'm having a hard time really feeling happy about it means that the timing is off a little bit, but that's all right because, as you said, I am satisfied in so many aspects of my life, like my work, doing pretty good there. And I can feel that I've got some balance going on there. I can feel that there's not such a big gap between where I am and where I want to be relative to that. And I'm looking forward to feeling that kind of ease in other aspects of my life. In fact, it feels to me like when I look at something that is working, like my career, and I focus there, that positive feeling must be helping the other things that I'm excited about. And now I realize I don't have to work hard. I don't have to prove anything. I don't have to get stronger. I just have to use the things that are working as my basis for positively expecting other things to work. So now you wouldn't say, I need to do anything. Now you're talking about what you want. And now you're not even talking about wanting it or needing to want it this red hot minute. It's sort of like all in good time, right on track, all is well with me. I'm doing really, really well. I'm proud of the life I've lived. I like what's over there in vibrational escrow. I like all the experience I had. All those relationships that I've lived have added to this perfect relationship that I'm seeking. And I know that I wouldn't know so clearly what I want if I hadn't lived all of that. And I like this sharpness that I'm feeling within me. And I'm happy to just sort of rest. I can tell that step 1 and step 2 are done. I've been asking, not just lately, but for a long time. And now I think I'm ready to let it fly. Okay, universe, I think I've had enough data. I've put it all in vibrational escrow. I'm just going to openly allow rendezvous with that which is what I'm wanting. This is going to be fun. I don't know how it's going to unfold. I don't have to micromanage it. I don't have to orchestrate it. I just have to chill and trust. All is well. So much is well. I got plenty of time. There's no big rush. I don't want to rush to the end of a journey anyway. It's the unfolding that feels so good. I like this sensation of moving with the river. I like this sensation of moving toward who I am. Nothing's gone wrong here. Everything's right on track. Everything's unfolding perfectly. Oh, hello. How are you today? I haven't seen you before. You're bright and shiny and beautiful in so many ways. You like me too. Well, isn't that nice? I always wanted someone to like me that I liked, and there you are. I'm liking you, you're liking me. We might have something going on here. That was easy.
Thank you.